As soon as she went missing, one of the first things that tipped us off is we started getting phone calls with it, really even the next day.
It was crazy. I bet we had 20 calls.
Within the first couple of days?
I mean, they were just relentless.
Like bloodhounds. Over the next few days, we were able to find out that there was a secret life that we didn't know about that revolved around some credit card bills. We found stacks of statements that had been hidden and stuffed in boxes.
You know, a box
storage.
Inside of a box. And
we think that most of this goes back to a gambling spell she had a number of years ago. She had to know that her...
Well, Dad had ordered those credit reports.
Yeah.
My dad, you know, from listening, my dad listens to Dave Ramsey, too. He likes listening to him on the truck as he drives out to St. Louis and stuff. And you always talk about, you know, ordering your credit report to check for identity theft and things like that. So they had ordered the credit reports and they were due in at any time. So we figured she knew that it was all going to come out.
A collector is going to look at an account. If this guy has a job, that could pay. If the person's talked to their family about help before, that could make it pay. If they don't have a lot of other debt, that could make it pay. If they're talking to you, that could make it pay. If they have
if their spouse doesn't
numbers,
know.
Yeah.
I can just imagine that Friday before that Monday that she disappeared, I can just imagine her getting a phone call and somebody telling her that they were going to put her in jail.
Or take the house.
Or that they were going to take the house. Or that they were going to put it in the paper and all her friends and neighbors would know. There's no telling what was said to her.
I mean, certainly when you first start off in this industry, if you don't have a lot of experience, you're probably gonna push some people too far. I like to make the analogy that, you know, you're like this pirate on this pirate ship, right? And you got that person and you're walking them out on the plank, and you walk them as far as you can out on that plank without pushing them off, and then you bring them back to get what you want.
The last time that she was seen was that morning, a few minutes after 9. She went down to the Walmart gas station right down the road here. Put $7 worth of gas in, so you know with the gas prices that that's not very much gasoline.
This is the one spot that the police had talked about. Because I guess, I mean, I don't know much about suicide, but that's where the police speculate.
And the river, the water levels around here, the river has been high for over 18 months, so...
But it's getting down now, back in the banks, and they think that the lower the water will get, that either, you know, somebody will see an antenna sticking out, or actually, you know, a boat will hit the car, a barge. You know, the Ohio River has a lot of barge traffic. You really see her driving her car in this?
Honey, I don't know. I don't see her. I don't think it was on this long and being alive.
Heck yeah, it feels great. It feels a lot like when you win a wrestling match. It feels a lot like, you know, when you win a football game. It feels a lot like when you throw a touchdown pass. It's great. More importantly, it's paying the bills now. You know, how many people, we all like to be athletes, but how many people find something competitive that they can pay a bill with? You know, how many people can go out and work their tail off for 30 days, and on that last day of the month, hit a goal, make an achievement, get a paycheck, pay your rent, buy a new car, buy a house, buy presents for your family? That's a big deal, and that's why this is a fun industry for collectors.
Bank called me up, they're like, hi, we're calling because you don't have enough money. I'm like, I know. She's like, sir, you have insufficient funds. Well, that's a good way to put it, too. I agree with that. I find my funds to be grossly insufficient. Thanks for calling. Why are you mad at me? I don't understand what. How is this something I'm doing to you? She's like, sir, you only have $20. That's not enough. You can't only have $20. I'm like, look, I'm not being broke just to fuck with you. I just really don't have any money. I'm not trying to be a dick. My life is shitty. So they charged me. They charged me $15. That's how much it costs to only have $20.
Where can the self-respecting employed family of today turn for aid? Not to nature, as did the pioneer of 1833. It must turn somewhere. What is the answer?
motorcycles, Rolex watches, very expensive binoculars. But we sell quite a bit of adult videos. We have some people come in here and they look like for 20 minutes. I go, what are you looking for, a different plot? We try not to take any watch that's not gold. Cheap watch, cheap watch, cheap watch, cheap watch. I don't want to be misleading. $200, $300, $400 at Costco. Well, so who's going to come and pay very much for it here? Because you can go buy a new one, and new ones, you know, frankly, I shouldn't say this, but new is nice. We are their bank. They don't have a checking account. They don't have a bank account. They depend on us or another pawn shop. And we've had customers, God, 10, 11, 12 years. We have one customer, their jewelry has been here, and his gun, and I mean, he's put 11, 12 years, right? And now he's 2 months late on his loans, and the girls haven't put his stuff up for sale. Because how do you do that to somebody? Pawn shop business, it's just like all the other businesses in this economy. We're fighting losing customers. Right. All right. There's check cashing places, there's credit cards at low interest, people are refinancing their houses at low interest. I don't think a pawn shop can compete, okay, in this market with the check cashing places that are, the interest rate is just phenomenal what they charge. Okay, and I thought we charged a high rate. Still, people are going and using the check cashing places. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. We want you to have a good deal. We want to lend you money. We want you to come back and get your stuff. If you don't come back, we want to sell it to the next guy. We want him to have a good price on it. We want to make money. We want to put kids through college, you know, feed the dog and feed the mortgage. It's a very easy, simple thing, and it's not all that simple anymore. See? We even borrow money.
Who do you borrow money from?
From a big bank, Wells Fargo. Wait a minute, Wells Fargo bought Cash America, the big 300 pod. I'll be darned. That's interesting. That.
Unfortunately, we're so trusting of the system because we see names like Bank of America and Bank this and Bank that. We say, well, gosh, they're not going to take advantage of me. And exactly the opposite is true. Those are the entities that will take advantage of you.
And one of the vice presidents of Citigroup called me in my academic office and said, I'd like to do a seminar for all of the executives here, and would you come in and present your statistics on bankruptcy? He had a new book out about bankruptcy. And he said, I think this is going to be very enlightening for people. And I said, sure. And I came in and I had all my little charts and graphs. And in effect, my message was, if you would screen the weakest customers, those who are overloaded on debt and least likely to be able to pay, you could cut your bankruptcy losses by 50% in the blink of an eye. And, you know, this is several hours of presentation, of course, but lots of data to back it up and arguments back and forth. And there'd been some discussion and there was much in the room. Talk about this. And then a fellow in the back said, Professor Warren. And everyone got quiet. And, you know, it's that classic moment when you realize that's the guy who has all the power here. And he said, very interesting. He said, but if we cut those people off, that's where we make all of our profits. And we won't make nearly as much money.
You cut out the people who are right there on the end.
If you cut out the people who are least likely to be able to repay, if you cut out the most marginal borrowers, the ones who are deepest in trouble, then you're cutting out the heart of our profits, because that's where we make most of our money.
I started out just